Hey, good evening, Shrewdness fans. Welcome to another great edition of the Shrewdness podcast. We have a full crew tonight.
Yes, sir.
Chiz is back from his spring break travels, and Dex's internet is working for now.
That's right.
Come on, hamsters, get to work.
So we're going to roll out some new content tonight, mainly talking about the upcoming baseball season. We'll hit first, I think, on NCAA and March Madness tournament that's going on now, and we're down to 16 teams left. A few surprises, mostly not. We'll hit on that a bit. And then we're going to share, like I mentioned, more baseball news and our predictions for the upcoming MLB season.
Because we're always accurate on these. If you remember our football predictions,
yeah, we're kind of gluttons for punishment. We like to see how terrible we were at the end of the year and make fun of ourselves as much as you guys make fun of us online. So
that's right.
It works. It's a win-win.
So we'll talk about our
time. We're right every time.
That's right. We'll talk a little bit about teams and division winners, but also we're going to go to some individual award predictions for the Rookie of the Year, Cy Young, MVP for each of the leagues. So,
correct.
Chiz, tell us a little bit about NCAA. How's your bracket looking?
Let's talk March Madness, baby. Best time of the year for college basketball. This is usually about the time when we have the Cinderella emerge. The Sweet 16, we've got the first two rounds. You got a bunch of little schools playing big schools, schools that kind of underperformed and are finally finding their way. All that kind of mix. Guys that are gelling at the right time. You see
Santa
the
Clara,
coaches
VCU,
right?
High Point. They're all the Sweet 16. That's what's awesome about this.
That's what you get in the Sweet 16. The high points, and I got to say, I was pretty excited the first round because you did have a few glimpses. You had the High Point come through, which is a lot of fun to watch. If you guys got to see them play at all, they had a guard who was just unconscious, just throwing threes up from every angle as soon as he touched the ball.
Shameless plug for Prue that picked that game last week.
That's right. Prue
did.
Prue Stradamus actually had that one correct. Then they ran up against Arkansas. They still did all right, but they only lost by 6. But they lost. And
I predicted that one too.
Yes, it's a whole different ball game. Then we had we had a couple guys that looked like they could potentially do something. TCU upset Ohio State, even though they're not a tiny school. They're not that great. Then they got beat down by Duke. We had but VCU beat North Carolina and got their head coach fired. As of today, he got dismissed. But
he did.
But then they lost to Illinois by 20-something in the round 32.
St. Louis was fun. Billikens.
St. Louis
with Robbie Avila.
Larry Nerd.
Great White Hope.
He was incredible in the first game. In the second game,
yeah,
he was fine.
That's Michigan, though. And
they played
Michigan.
That's the problem about being an 8 or 9 seed is you have to play the 1 seed next.
You got to play the 1 seed, and the 1 seeds are really stinking good this year. And so the question that I will present to the panel at large, meaning Dex and Prue,
all of us,
do we have a Cinderella this year?
Well, I'll take that pinata and beat on it a little bit. We don't have a true Cinderella, but we do have a numbers Cinderella. So Texas was a first 4-in team.
True.
So the 65 to 68, they had to play their way in, and they did. So they won. And by all accounts, Texas is an 11 seed sitting in the Sweet 16, and they beat Gonzaga. So that's a real team. BYU wasn't bad. So first round, BYU. Gonzaga's the one I didn't think they'd actually beat. Gonzaga, I still think is the better team.
Didn't think they would either.
Texas wins, so you have an 11 seed in the Sweet 16. So if you're looking traditionally at tournament seeding, you have a double-digit guy hanging out in the Sweet 16. So our Cinderella by default is the Texas Longhorns. What?
Yes.
Not very Cinderella-y.
Shut your pie hole. Shut your pie hole on this one. I mean, Texas, seriously, saying Texas is Cinderella is like saying that the Dodgers are the Cinderella because they made the wild card because they played so bad during the regular season that they could only be the wild card. I mean, Texas has the largest athletic budget of anybody, maybe outside of Ohio State, of anybody. They've got huge NIL. They played like poop all year. Despite all that money, they squeak in as an 11 and they actually perform for a couple games. I refuse to call them a Cinderella, but you're right. Technically,
They're wearing the slipper. It just might look like a Nike.
that's right. That's exactly what
It might have a swoosh on it, but it's still a slipper.
And it might be sponsored by Nike and come with money from Nike. So
Yeah.
that's the only issue I have. I mean, I really hate to think of. I just can't. I can't.
So
They're not
here's my
Cinderella.
secondary one. See if you. Oh, I want Prue. Give me your take on this one first before I go to my honorable mention, Cinderella.
Yeah, I was going to go to the honorable mention.
Okay.
I think Cinderella, but no, it's a good story. They played sound basketball. They beat, like you said, a good team. Gonzaga is no joke. I had them picked to go a lot further, meaning
Yep.
Gonzaga. So I did really good the first round, my bracket, but kind of down to average now as far as what I can still score the
So
rest of the
who's your honorable
Yeah.
mention, Cinderella? We'll see if we're on the same
So-
page.
I think a lot of people probably picked Florida to win.
Yeah.
And Iowa stepped in, took them down on a last-second shot. It was a great ending to a game.
It was. That was a
Incredible.
good game.
Made it with like 4 seconds left or something like
Yeah.
that to take a 1-point lead. They held on over number 1 Florida, so that was a big upset.
I agree. That was phenomenal. Even though they're still Big Ten, and it still feels weird calling them Cinderella,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It does.
I think they're the closest thing we're going to get to Cinderella in this tournament because they aren't expected to be that good. They don't have as much money as everybody else in the bigger conferences.
It's just a small school from a small conference.
That's right.
Little old Iowa.
Little
Little
old
old Iowa Hawkeyes.
That's right. And they're playing little old Nebraska, who the same way, they had a last second. I don't know if you guys saw the end of that game, but Vanderbilt had a shot that, I don't know, how it didn't go in. It was insane. It
it was
went
halfway down, and
actually
It was like
in
3/4
the net,
of the way down.
and the net said nope and popped it back out. I was like, how did that happen? And
Yeah.
it was an amazing ending. So both of those teams are coming off of incredible endings. So that'll be a fun game because it is like a good old fashioned upper Midwest corn-fed.
The Big Ten is heading to the Elite Eight.
That's right.
Guaranteed.
That's right.
last week Dex and I talked about the chalkiness of this year's tournament and really last year's, and we pointed out most of the 1 seeds or all the 1 seeds made it last year.
Yep.
So in my mind, this Iowa taking down a number 1 seed, no matter what their seed is a Cinderella.
Yeah.
It was like we mentioned last week. It's a very top heavy, chalky tournament.
I wonder what could be causing this. I can't. I've been trying to put my finger on it. Why is everything so lopsided and chalky all of a sudden? Where did Cinderella go? If only we had an idea or a theory on this. Anyone?
Let's see.
Bueller?
I've got a data point for you as you're thinking about it, Dex.
Okay.
There's only been 2 years in the history of the tournament where the Sweet 16 was made up of all major conference teams. This year?
1980 something maybe?
And last year.
Oh, God,
So,
that's
2
weird
years in a
recently.
row.
Huh.
We got no little guys in the dance in the Sweet 16, man. It's almost like something's been happening. What do you think it is? Could it be something to
Climate
do with
change.
It's almost
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Climate change.
Oh,
in a way, in a sort of twisted way. That's
In
true.
a sort of twisted way, it is either that or maybe NIL. I don't know. Maybe paying all the players.
NIL.
What used
God,
to
I've heard of that.
happen, as we know, what used to happen is these guys who would get overlooked in high school and like not get recruited by the big teams, and they would go to like some school in the Missouri Valley or the Sun Belt or
High Point.
Conference USA or the Big South, like a guard from High Point, for instance, and then he would just go off, and then you'd have him for 4 years, and then he'd play with other guys for 4 years, and the team looked really good, and they began to look like a real team, and they could beat a lot of more athletic, more talented teams because they
Higher
played
profile
together.
teams. Yeah.
But now what's happening is as soon as a guy emerges at one of these small schools, a big school comes with a checkbook and says, hey,
That guy's really good. We'll take him.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right?
You're too
And
good
they run
for
a
High
really
Point.
good-
You need to come to Texas.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the sad part. I really hope they fix this. I know that we've talked about it before. The genie's out of the bottle, and it's probably going to take a while if they can ever fix it. But it does kind of suck that you don't see these like smaller conference schools like a St. Louis,
Yeah.
like a Hofstra, those kind of schools that could make deeper runs because they had guys that's played together for 4 years and just look like an awesome Hoosiers like team. And we may be past that now, which a little bit sad.
It
But
does
let's
suck.
talk about who is here in the Sweet 16. I'll go through them real quick here. We'll talk about who we think is coming out of these regions. So the East, we've got Duke versus upstart St. John's, who upset Texas Jayhawks. Kansas made a valiant comeback.
Called it.
Could not pull it off.
You did.
Prue actually called that St. John's victory. So we got St. John's Duke. 2 seconds on this game. What do you guys think? Is there any chance St. John's pulls this off? Dex, Prue?
I think there is a chance. That's why they play him. But I think Duke's the better team. What do you think, Prue?
Yeah. I think there's almost no chance. I think
Yeah.
Duke cold serve.
I agree with you. The only chance I give them is Coach Pitino has coached some incredible teams, and he's taken people really deep. So the only chance I give him is that Pitino pulls a rabbit out of the hat, but they definitely don't have the talent. So I think we all are in agreement that Duke is probably going through there because they just have a lot of good players. That other matchup is a 2 and 3, UConn, Michigan State. And that is a really interesting matchup because you got Hurley, coach, versus Izzo, coach. 2 really good coaches, 2 really good teams. Prue, what's your leaning there?
Yeah, so to my point I made last week, a lot of these veteran coaches you can count on to be,
Totally.
well represented during the tournament. This is going to be a great game. Both teams have kind of blown out their opponents the first 2 games.
Yeah, they have.
So they're going to be high-powered offenses. It wouldn't shock me to see a 85 to 82 type score or something in that one.
Absolutely. I agree.
I picked UConn early.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with UConn as my favorite in that game.
I think that's a great pick. I'm going to go the opposite just to be contrarian, though, because I like Izzo. Hurley's a great coach, too, but I'm going to go Izzo and the experience and Izzo to the Elite Eight. So I think it's going to be Michigan State Duke. I think we would, regardless who comes out of there, I think we all still probably are on the Duke train for the Final Four. Yes. Yeah. We got the most talent. And I think we're all in agreement there. Okay.
Dex,
So
we need a tiebreaker. You
Yep.
going UConn
I
or
got
Michigan?
UConn for the tiebreaker. I
Okay.
think UConn,
Okay.
they've got some talent, and they've got a good coach, and they know how to win. And
You do.
It's a very solid, deep team with some seniors, actually.
Yeah, they're really good. I mean, I have no issues with UConn. You guys picking them. I just think Izzo pulls a rabbit out of the hat. That's what we're going to go with. Now let's go to the West. We've got pretty much chalk here except Texas. So the only seed that didn't make it of the top 4 is Gonzaga. Texas beat them. First matchup is really interesting to me, Arizona, Arkansas. Arizona is a freaking freight train.
Yeah.
They look really talented, but Arkansas is maybe the best player in the tournament with Akoff. He is just on fire. What do you guys think? Any snowball's chance of Arkansas pulling this off?
I mean, they've pulled off 90-something points the first 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can put up some points. Maybe they squeak out a slugfest, 88 to 85 or something.
Yeah.
I think this is the game of the bracket. I think the winner of this will be going to the Final Four out of this particular quadrant. I think Arkansas has got more talent than people think because you probably didn't hear enough about them during the season. They got better and better and better, and then won the SEC championship. They're a good team. And Arizona's been there all year. You've heard about Arizona all season long.
Solid.
They're really good. But I think Arizona takes it, but I think it's going to be a very close game. I think they just
Get back to
outlast
coaches,
them.
too, here. You got Arkansas, Coach Cal. It's another interesting, super experienced coach you got in that place. So we got Pruitt. You talked about it last week. The experienced coaches, you see them all over the place right now.
Yeah.
All of these veteran coaches are Patino, Izzo, Coach Cal. I mean, they're all kind of like raising their heads here. The next matchup in that region is Texas-Purdue, the Texas Cinderella. Texas.
You said to identify who would have to be. There are no Cinderella. Cinderella's dead. But
that's true.
As far as we go,
Purdue.
Yeah, Purdue's going to pound this Texas
Purdue
team.
Purdue is I think I read the other day they have the most assists of any team. Like they play great fundamental past the rock ball. I don't see any way Texas gets this one. I'll be honest.
I don't think it's going to be close.
I think they come back down to earth. Prue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
I think they kind of play like they've been playing all year, which is underperforming. When they get up against a real disciplined team.
Yeah, they had their run, and beating Gonzaga was it. That was their.
Yep.
That was
That's
it.
right.
The second weekend for that team was impressive.
Now
it's time for the real teams to play.
Especially given their regular season. I think Matt Painter has this team ready. He's a great coach, which would say we would say either we've got an Arizona, Purdue, or an Arkansas Purdue matchup coming out of that. Dex, you would say the winner of Arizona Arkansas goes to the Final Four. Prue.
Yep.
Well, I had Gonzaga, believe it or not, so that hurts. I'll take Arizona.
Yeah.
I think they hold off Arkansas, and
they're just good, and they outlast
they're really
people.
good. It's hard for me to pick against Arizona. I could see Purdue potentially sneaking one out just because they play really good team ball. But gun to head, I'm saying Arizona there too. So we got those. We got 2 1 seeds in that top half of the bracket. Let's go to the South. The Cinderella-ish matchup that we have. The closest thing we've got is a 9-4 matchup. Iowa, Nebraska. Both these teams, if we're being honest, both these teams are pretty stinking happy to still be playing. Sweet 16. One of them is going to make the Elite Eight. I don't remember the last time you had an Iowa or Nebraska in the Elite Eight. So,
been a minute.
Who do you guys think comes out of this matchup?
I think Nebraska is the better team, and I think they've been better all season. And if they're kind of equally matched, really, I think.
Yeah.
But I think Nebraska, I don't know, just the way they played the first weekend, beating Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's a good team. That's a good 5 seed. And I understand, Iowa just beat Florida, the defending champs. I know, that's really good. But I think they got more lucky that Florida played not their best game, and Iowa played a really good game. But I think Nebraska is they're solid. So I just think Nebraska is more consistent. And when you get to this stage of the game, fewer mistakes equal a better chance of going to the next round.
Yeah,
so I like Nebraska.
it. Prue, any magic left in Iowa?
Maybe. To me, it's a coin flip. It's hard to say if a team can stay hot after coming off a huge win like that against the number 1 seed. There's definitely some momentum that carries over, I think. But if you used all your energy to beat Florida, maybe you have just a bit less to take on Nebraska. So
they had a dogfight against Clemson too, really. So
yeah,
they've had 2 kind of.
I'll take them just to be contrarian, just to provide a different perspective.
So
but
now Chisholm gets to be a tiebreaker. Let's go.
I'm gonna tiebreak go with Nebraska as well. But here I'll tell you my favorite bet of this round: the under on the first half points in Iowa, Nebraska. Both these teams are coming off adrenaline-filled wins. I think it's going to be clank fest in the first half. Everybody's going to be like, "Oh my god!" Like coming off the high, not feeling great, a little bit stiff, a little bit feeling each other out. I love the under in the first half of that game. But I'm going to go to Nebraska, and the next one, the other game in that region is this is a matchup right here.
This is good.
Illinois, Houston.
Yeah.
Yep.
How do we feel about this? This is Prue's Illinois pick.
Yeah, Prue,
Prue's
tell us
Illinois
what's up.
pick against Houston, the number 2 seed. Prue, are you sticking with Illinois?
That's who's written on my bracket, Chiz. I'm
Yes.
staying with them.
Well, they've crushed everybody they've played so far. So they destroyed Penn, and then they beat VCU by 20. And I thought VCU would give them a decent game. They absolutely annihilated them.
Yeah, they're a dangerous team. I like them to continue hot scoring and take it to Houston.
Yeah, Houston has outscored their opponents by 52 points in the first 2 rounds. Their defense is suffocating. The most points they've allowed is 57 to Texas A&M last week.
That's crazy.
They are good. I mean, I picked them to go to the Final Four and beat Florida anyway, so I think they're going to – I think Illinois, while being a very solid team, Houston, again, there's a different beast out there and when you get to some of these teams, and Houston's one of those. I mean, they're a 2 seed, but they could have been a 1 seed, and they're really, really good. So I think they probably win by 10. I mean, I think Houston's going to win it pretty easily. I think they're going to go. So that's who I got.
That's a bold prediction. Houston by 10.
Yeah.
Double digits. So I'm going to go with you on this too, Dex. I like Houston. Does anybody think the Iowa-Nebraska winner beats the winner of this game?
Nope.
I don't.
It's Houston.
Yeah.
Or
So
Illinois for Pruitt.
Houston or Illinois goes on to the Final Four. So that's what we've got coming out of that region. The final region we're looking at is the Midwest. This is a stacked region as well. The Friday night game is Michigan-Alabama 1 versus 4. You guys think could there be an upset brewing here? Is Alabama got enough in the tank to pull this off?
I don't think so. Again, sometimes you run into too much talent, and I think Michigan's too much talent. They're humongous dudes underneath. They just kill people. They're really good. And St. Louis was on a roll, and they beat them by 23 points.
Yeah.
And St. Louis isn't that bad. I mean, you're like, oh, what the heck? St. Louis beat Georgia by 30 almost, 25 points in their first round.
Right.
And
That's
Georgia's not a floozy team. They beat them. So to return the favor to them shows you just how good Michigan is. Yeah. Michigan is tough. And we were just talking about how tough Illinois is, one of Pruitt's Final Four picks. Michigan beat them by, I think, a dozen, maybe 15 points, I think, a couple weeks ago. So this is a tough team that's playing well at the end. I like Michigan. I don't think it's going to be that close either, to be honest. I think it'll be a fun game. I think it'll be competitive. I think at the end, Michigan pulls away.
Prue?
Yeah, I agree. They are, like to Dex's point, they're huge. A lot of height inside, which shuts down a lot of teams if that's what they rely on. So I think they come away easily.
I tell you that too.
I think I'll say that as a Notre Dame guy, I'm obliged to absolutely hate everything Michigan, but
sometimes you gotta recognize facts.
I cannot pick against them in this game. I've watched Alabama play a lot this season. They're just super inconsistent, and I think they'll look really great one game and then just not good the next game. And Michigan looks very good every game, so I think they're going to come through on this one too. The other one I'm really intrigued by, the other matchup down there is a 6 seed Tennessee, who's kind of snuck in. I don't know that you could call them a Cinderella either, because Rick Barnes' coach have had a lot of talent. SEC team going against Iowa State, who's just been a solid team all year. But Iowa State is kind of, they had a big injury where they lost one of their superstars, and everybody thought that might really hurt them against Kentucky. They dispatched Kentucky by 19. They're obviously a really good team.
After they were behind 18-6 to start that game.
Yes.
And I thought they were in trouble.
Yeah.
And they just clawed their way back and then just trounced them in the second half.
They did not panic.
They locked down
I saw an interview with their coach. Their interview with the coach, he was like, our defense is really good over 40 minutes, so we're not worried. And I'm like, okay. And they shouldn't be, because they absolutely shut them down from that point forward.
Yeah.
Do you guys, any upset thoughts here? Tennessee, Iowa State?
Not for me. I think it's going to be Michigan, Iowa State. And I think that'll be a good game. That one will be a tough game.
Yeah.
I don't see.
Yeah.
Think we're aligned. Everybody here is Michigan, Iowa State coming out of there. What do you think? Your Final Four?
So I have Michigan because I have them going all the way to the championship game. So Michigan is
As
who is
do
meeting
I.
Duke in my bracket. So I
you
still
two got
think they're
Michigan?
I think they're just really good. They're hard to beat.
Not so fast, my friends. Iowa State pulls it off, upset to get to the Final Four. I'm going to go. My Final Four is going to be Duke, Arizona, 2 1 seeds, and 2 2 seeds. Houston and Iowa State. That's my Final Four.
There we go.
Next, who do you got of the remaining
So
teams?
Duke, Arizona, Michigan, and Houston.
Okay. Prue, your Final
I got-
Four of the remaining teams?
Duke and Illinois,
Yep.
Arizona, and Michigan. Yeah,
Okay. So there you have it.
3-1 seeds.
Final 4 teams on record. Bet accordingly. The only thing you can absolutely be sure of is you need to put money down on Alabama because all 3 of us picked Michigan. Other than that, we've got
We
some
all
splits.
picked Duke too.
I
No,
know.
we all picked Duke too. So
And,
may wanna
and
lay-
Purdue. So put it all on Texas. They have one more dream game left.
lay a little cheddar on St. John's, Texas, and Alabama.
What are the odds of a St. John's, Texas final?
Oh
You
my
get a
God.
just for
That would be
kicks,
Cinderella there.
I'm gonna lay down a parlay, 3-leg parlay on Alabama, St. John's, Texas. Okay, I'm gonna put $1 on that one. Let you guys know how it happened. But
Yeah.
it should be fun. I mean, it's great basketball. The good thing about what you've got right now is when you don't have Cinderellas, you do have really good teams for
Yeah.
sure. And so
Exciting games.
They're all stacked.
these are heavyweight bouts that we're going to see for the next weekend. This is one of the most fun basketball weekends of the year. So
I mean, they're all
looking forward
31
to it.
teams. It's just
Yeah,
that play lockdown defense. They're mini NBA teams, man.
yeah.
So
That's
it's just,
right.
Fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the Cinderellas are exciting. It's kind of cool and all that, but this is really good basketball when
Yeah,
it is the best of the best.
That's exactly right. And the downside of Cinderella is usually in the Sweet 16, you get a bad game because Cinderella
Right.
comes back down to earth and it's like they get squashed like a bug and it's like, oh, that was not that fun.
80-47 or something. Just like-
Totally. I don't think we'll
Not-
have any 80-47 games in
No.
this slate, so I think it'll be it should be really, really good basketball. All right, well, cool. March Madness is always fun. We're going to pivot because what we got now, I'm going to pass it over to our good friend John Dexter.
Ooh,
here in
I
a
like that
second.
transition. That's a power.
But we're going to talk about a love from childhood of all of us at the Shrewdness baseball. For those of you who don't know, we grew up playing baseball together. We grew up playing wiffle ball before that. We loved playing a game called Stratomatic. Which was a dice game where you learned all about stats and odds and all kinds of stuff, which if you love baseball, you love all that stuff. And then, of course, we played all kinds of baseball games on video as
Baseball
well. So,
stars.
baseball stars.
That was the
Baseball
best.
stars. What was the one on your computer, Dex? I loved that
Earl
one.
Weaver, baseball.
Earl Weaver, baseball. I love
Baseball. That's awesome.
RBI baseball with the big
RBI baseball.
chubby.
Little round-headed guys that would get
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
The only one that looked accurate to real life was Tony Gwynn.
Yeah.
But everybody else was a little off. So we're huge baseball fans, and baseball season starts tomorrow. So maybe a day or two after this gets
Yeah, we'll say Wednesday
spoken.
for those folks that might be listening to this on Thursday.
Yes, Wednesday.
Yesterday
so
it
we're
started.
going to give you guys our predictions for who's going to win the divisions. Maybe talk about a couple of the players. We'll talk about awards predictions, so you can make lots of money. If you pay attention for the next 30 minutes or so, you're probably going to get rich. So without further ado, I will pass it over to lead the discussion to Dexter.
Oh my gosh, I was waiting. It might be someone else. I was like, ooh. All right. I was surprised as you were.
The
Come on down.
suspense was killing me.
Yeah, I was like,
Right?
I was ready to come on down. All right. So I think it's kind of fun to talk about who we think's gonna take some divisions. So last year we did a full-blown diving in head first. We almost all got divorced and lost our jobs. It's a little too much. So we dialed it back, and now we're just gonna cut to the chase. We're just gonna cut to the chase and tell you who's gonna win the division, and give you kind of an honorable mention of who else could be involved towards the end.
Yep.
Then we're going to tell you the players that are going to make that happen. So we'll give you the individual award winners with the MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year. But we're not going to make it too chalky. We just talked all the chalk in the NCAA tournament because we're going to go to real life Major League Baseball where there is no guarantees. So we're going to take the main guys off the board. So when we do these, you're like, oh, my God, what? You didn't pick Aaron Judge for the 4th time in a row? Yeah. We're not doing Judge and Skubal. We're not doing Ohtani and Skeens.
Yep.
They are the runaway favorites to win the awards again. It's just not even fun. So obviously those guys are really, really good and can win it.
We starting out with division winners, Dex?
So we are going to go through division winners. So let's start in the AL East because as they like to think they're the center of the world, we know they're not. But let's just go ahead and start there. Let's kick it over to Pruitt. Who is your pick to win the AL East this year?
Well, I had the luxury of having FanDuel on my phone, so I saw who Las Vegas thinks is going to win the AL East, and I can't really disagree. They have the Yankees winning. They're a perennial team, as everybody who's ever watched baseball knows. They always field a pretty competitive team, so I think they've got as good a shot as anybody right now at taking the East.
Yeah, no, it is the favored pick. It's good. It's good. It's the Yankees. It's always the goddamn Yankees. All right, Chisholm, who do you got?
I mean, I'll tell you, I was really wanting to pick, and my first leaning was to pick the Blue Jays.
Yes.
Because, I mean, they've been
so close last year.
Close.
They had
but
it.
I think that was crushing. And I don't know that they're going to recover from that.
That's not what the 2015 Kansas City Royals said.
I know.
As they watched the tying run sit at 90 feet away in 2014, and Madison Bumgarner pitched 14 games in a 7-game series, and then they came back and won it all the next year. So Toronto's looking at your shirt saying, bro, what? You think we can't do what your team did a decade ago?
They could, but
okay.
I kind of like a little more unconventional pick here. I'm feeling the Red Sox this year.
Ooh.
And the reason I'm feeling them is I love their starting rotation. Garrett Crochet, Ranger Suarez, Sonny Gray. I even love Aroldis Chapman as a closer. I mean, I feel like I know he's lost a few MPHs on that arm, but I love the fact that he's an old crafty veteran and he can still bring it. He knows what's up.
He is.
Crafty lefty throwing 98 instead of 102.
I know.
Crafty lefty throwing 98. He's not throwing 102 anymore, but he's still clocking in the mid-90s, and I like the experience that he has. So I have the Yankees second, and I have the Red Sox first. So, Dex, what do you think about the East then?
So I am on the same page, which is weird because we're not always on the same page. But Boston is my pick as well. I think Garrett Crochet is one of the favorites to win Cy Young. Ranger Suarez, Sonny Gray is a nice 3. He's been a number 1 his entire career, and he's the 3rd pitcher for Boston.
Yeah.
And Bello is a good 4. No. So I think they just have a solid starting rotation. And then when you start at the top with Roman Anthony, he'll probably be in the leadoff spot for them. Jaron Duran that we talked about during the World Baseball Classic.
Outfield.
Wilson Contreras, they got from St. Louis to be kind of their DH and first baseman. That's going to be good on the Green Monster. He's going to be plugging stuff off that all the time. I think it's going to be a very good fit. They got a long lineup. It's deep. I think they beat the Yankees this year. And frankly, my runner-up team is Toronto. So I think Toronto will not die. I think they do make the playoffs again. And it could be the Yankees as the 3rd team. So they might take all the playoff slots in the AL East. And for the Orioles fans, like, you don't even have me in the 4th, 3rd spot. The Orioles 2 years ago was a beautiful run. And then they collapsed last year, as you guys know. And I just don't see it, man. They've already lost Jackson Holliday to a hamate bone, so he'll be out for the first month. That's not a good start. And it doesn't really get much better. The pitching's just not what it was. And they jettisoned off some of their best pitchers. Now Trevor Rogers, who we made fun of a couple years ago, he is good. He's a legitimate. He had a great season last year, but he also didn't make it through the season last year.
All right.
So he's your number 1. And then you have Shane Baz is kind of a reclamation project from the Tampa Bay. He wasn't doing real well. They're going to hopefully reclaim him. Chris Bassett is kind of just a Charlie Harris guy in the 4-hole. So I don't know. I don't see enough pitching for the Orioles to make it, but I do like Boston, and I think that's going to be my pick.
The only thing I think I'm certain of, though, in the division is that Tampa Bay is going to be last. That's pretty much the only thing I'm 100% sure of. So they're probably going to win it.
Yeah.
I felt that way about several of the divisions. I was like, I don't know who's going to win, but I know who's not going to win.
I know for sure who I'm shorting.
That's exactly right. So that should be the fifth. So let's jump to the Central.
Yeah, perfect.
So Central, Chiz, go ahead. Start us off with who you think is going to win the Central.
Yes, I'm a homer. I am wearing a Royals jersey. Yes, I'm picking Kansas City to win the Central, but let me give you my rationale. So there is some rationale for this. I feel like if you look at their 1 through 5, 6 hitters, like it's a really good lineup. It's a really good lineup. They had, Pruitt and I were talking on Patreon, they had like 5, 6 guys out on the World Baseball Classic stage. So all spring training, they've been playing AAA guys. So that I don't think Jack Caglione is going to crap out like he did. He had one of the biggest disparities between what he was projected to do and what he did do based on his hard hit rate, based on all kinds of things that should come into effect.
BABIP, so his batting average on balls in play was like 220 or something atrocious.
Insane. And
but his exit velocity was like 95.
It's ridiculous. So I think that does not happen again. So he's going to have a much better year. I think Pasquantino's better. Witt is obviously phenomenal. Garcia is really coming into his own. I love the lineup. And they have a ton of pitching depth. So they've got 5 starters that are really good. And they've got 4 guys now that on most teams would be fighting for the 4 or 5 spots that are going to be in the AAA club. So I am a homer. I admit it. But I think that they have enough to pull it out this year. And I will put second Detroit. And the only reason I'm putting Detroit second is I think they're a good team. They're a really good team, and they've shown it. But I think they're so reliant on Skubal, and I can't see him just being as good as he's been the last year. Like, it's just ridiculous how good he's consistently been. And I think he's cursed because he wouldn't pitch in the World Baseball Classic. I missed out last week's episode. I didn't get to bash him. I think the baseball gods are putting a hex on him. They're cursing him. He is going to have a below average season. It's not, your choice, man.
Your choice.
Choices have consequences. What I tell my kids, choices have consequences. So I think Tariq is
getting hexed is one of them.
Jesus. By the baseball
gods themselves are striking you down. Tarek Skubal. Sorry, bud.
Right. So that's my pick.
Poor decision. I think we all
made a bad choice.
I think we all know that.
Yeah. Wow. So that's aggressive, but here we are.
So Prue, how about you? What do you think?
I can't disagree with anything you said. I love the Royals lineup this year. I think Carter Jensen, Jack Caglione, a nice young couple of guys coming in. Bobby Witt, obviously one of the favorites for MVP the last several years and probably the next several.
Probably should have won it a couple years ago.
Probably should have. So, I love their lineup. If the pitching holds up and Reagans can stay healthy and so forth.
That is the big if. Reagans healthy is...
Yeah, that would be a big boost for them for sure. But, I also picked them, and I do think Detroit's maybe it could flip. Maybe Detroit wins and KC, squeaks in a playoff or a wild card spot. But I like the Royals to potentially win that division.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to make it. God, now I shouldn't because when we all do it, it never works.
I know. We're screwed.
When you look at everything, I'm on the Royals as well. And here's the reason. As you alluded to, Pruitt, Bobby Witt Jr. is a talked about MVP favorite. Cole Reagans is a potential Cy Young favorite. Carter Jensen's a potential Rookie of the Year. So you have a deeper lineup, and what has helped, and we mocked this last year, is our outfield produced nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing last year. Now, this year, again, how much did it really get better? Lane Thomas is not a godsend. I know.
No.
He's better. And Starling Marte, he is on the end of that rope. He went past sunset. He's staring at the backside of the sun.
Yeah.
But when he's healthy, he's still pretty good. So Starling Marte is an improvement. Isaac Collins, he could be good. I mean, I guess he was, second or third in Rookie of the Year voting last year. I didn't realize he was that high. And then they trade him in the offseason. Sounds good. It's an improvement. And so we have Caglione's going to be there. I agree with Chisholm wholeheartedly. He's going to have a better season. Salvador Perez, maybe there's one more year in the tank, maybe. But the leadership's there in spades. So I think we have the right leaders at the right time, a deep pitching staff, and the additions that they made are additions. So I think it's going to be a very decent outfield as opposed to a net 40, like negative 40. They were just horrible last year. Yeah. So this outfield's better, and it'll actually give you above zero. So hopefully we have above replacement players in the outfield this year.
That's right.
So I think that's where they go. And again, I like the rotation. I think we have a deep staff. We even have potential 6th, 7th, 8th guys that can do okay if we need to. So I'm with the Royals. My backup is Cleveland. I just think they have a tremendous staff. I think they are also have a good long lineup. Jose Ramirez has gone 30-30 like 18 years in a row. He's just ridiculous and wins Gold Gloves over there. And no one talks about him because he's in Cleveland. But Jose Ramirez is no fluke, no floozy. I like Cleveland second.
This is one that I differ on you, though. I think Cleveland is going to be ass. I think they are going to be at
that's aggressive.
Maybe not at the bottom. They might be the bottom, though. I think the only thing keeping them from the bottom is the fact that the White Sox are still in the AL Central. But if you take that, I really think there's going to be a steep fall off. But I could be wrong. I think that'll be an interesting thing for us to play out as the season goes on.
Yeah, I just think their pitchers are better than you think, and some of their young guys coming up. So Chase DeLauder, he's going to be starting right field from the get-go. He's a guy, he needs to stay vertical, so he's an injury risk. But if Cleveland keeps that guy vertical, they've got a pretty deep lineup. So they lost Josh Naylor from last year, but they still have his brother Bo. It's going to be a pretty decent team. But let's move on to the West, where I think we have another – I might have a trifecta on this one too, don't we? Bruce, start us off here. I think it's just kind of because it's pretty obvious who is the best team in this division.
How could you not?
Yes. Yeah. Seattle's I think all of our pick as the probable winner of this division.
So we'll just share the reasons why. Tell us why Seattle's going to win it, because we all agree with the reasons.
I mean, I think it starts with Logan Gilbert, top of the rotation, extremely gifted pitcher who can anchor any rotation, but they have a very deep rotation. Solid bullpen. They're gonna put up numbers offensively as well. Kyle Raleigh obviously just came off a historical season for a
big dumper,
catcher.
baby.
Big dumper, knocking in 60 homers last year.
As a switch hitting catcher, he should have won the MVP last year, but only because Judge had an equally awesome season, damn near winning a Triple Crown. He came up second with 60 homers as a switch hitting catcher.
Right.
How do you not win the MVP with that season?
He caught like 150 games or something ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. I mean, he's incredible. I agree. Gilbert, Wu, Kirby, that alone right there, those three, I'm like, wow,
top
that's
three
scary.
Scary.
I honestly think, and then I think Julio Rodriguez is going to have a huge year. We'll talk about that's foreshadowing. Foreshadowing. But I will say that I actually think this is the best team in the American League. I think this is a representative for the AL in the World Series this year. I think they're that good.
Yeah, when you have pitching like that in their lineup, so they filled some holes too. So they got from the Cardinals Brendan Donovan, which you're like, who's that? Yeah. He's a really good player is what he is. He's a great hitter. He's versatile. He can play all over the field. He's got a good glove. He's good in the clubhouse. So that's a humongous addition. Josh Naylor, who they got in a trade deadline from Arizona last year, huge bat. First base now has a 35-100 guy. And that's right there. Randy Arozarena had a great resurgence year last year.
Love him.
So, and then what they did that's smart is you got to just commit to the platoon, right? Seattle has committed to the platoon. For DH and right field, they've got guys that kill righties and guys that kill lefties. And there's no switching. They've got Canzone platooning with Ref Snyder at DH, and then you got Luke Raley and Victor Robles. they're platooning. That's what they do. And so it's kind of fun. They got rid of all the controversy and just picked up extra bats. And then the problem is kind of the bottom of the lineup, but the bottom of the lineup, for one, they have a couple rookies that could step up, but Cole Young won the second base job. And then J.P. Crawford's been around forever. You're like, J.P. Crawford still plays? Yes. And he's actually, as a 9-hitter, he's pretty decent and plays good defense. So there's nothing wrong with him. So they have a long lineup. I totally agree with Chisholm. I think this is going to be the AL representative in the World Series this year. They are tough. And if they're not, it's going to go to 7 games probably in the championship series to knock them out. So that's I think we're all on the same page. And they got closers.
Anybody in the race for second? What do you guys have? I have Texas second. I think it's a distant second, though.
Yeah. I mean, I have, just for fun, I think the A's are going to be better than people think.
I do too.
Yes. That was exactly my reason, Dex. I was like, this is a nice wish list item on my chart. I think they could surprise some people.
It's got more talent than people think. And the division's not really that good. Actually, the division's bad outside of Seattle.
It is.
Yeah.
Because Houston's not the same Houston you're thinking of. They got rid of everybody.
Yep.
But let's talk about the Athletics real quick. So Kurtz is a guy who stepped up last year, was ridiculous as first baseman. So he's a big power hitter, Nick Kurtz. Awesome. Tyler Soderstrom, if you haven't heard his name and you have a fantasy draft,
you probably haven't.
Up, I know. Judging by the attendance, you haven't. So Tyler Soderstrom, Brent Rooker, awesome. Jacob Wilson, damn near won the batting title last year.
Yeah.
And right behind Judge.
Out of nowhere.
Yes, as a rookie. So he came out, he plays Gold Glove caliber defense. I don't think he won it last year, but he's right there. And then just some of their backfill guys, you're like, and from the A's you're used to, you'll actually know these names. Max Muncy. I know that guy. He used to be pretty decent. Yeah, that's right.
Dodger.
Jeff McNeil. I know that guy. I've heard that name. So
he still plays.
Yes,
yes,
but
he
the
does.
fact is, it makes their lineup full of professional at bats. Because what those guys do, they're professional hitters, man.
You're
I know they all are, Dex. That's the stupidest thing you've ever said. But you know what I mean? They go up there, they take pitches, they work counts, they hit it to the right side, they hit it to the left side when it needs to. Like, these are good. And then the lone kind of young guy they have left that's kind of new to the show, because everyone else was there last year, is Denzel Clark. And he was on in the World Baseball Classic as well. I'm blanking on which team he was at. Doesn't really matter, but he's ridiculous outfield. He's kind of like Willie Mays Hazel. He can't steal first. And he's got a lot of swing and miss in the game, but he's pretty dang good.
Incredible highlights last year. A couple massive home run steals on catches. You can go on the YouTube.
Oh, that's right.
The YouTubes if you want and look at that. But he's had some really great plays in the outfield.
That's right, and the rotation's better than you think too. So Luis Severino, Jeffrey Springs. Aaron Savali, these guys are good. They're major league pitchers. And so I think they've got a staff that's better than you think and a lineup that's longer and deeper than you think. I think this team's going to surprise people. You're going to roll in to, I don't even know what stadium they're playing in anymore. They're going to play in some stupid Sacramento stadium still.
Sacramento.
They're not in Vegas yet, but they will be on the Strip soon. That will be fun. We're going to go out and watch some Royals games out there.
We're definitely going to that.
For the record, we're picking Seattle.
But,
Yes.
But Oakland's going to be, not Oakland. Sacramento A's are going to be fun to watch.
Wherever they play are going to be exciting this year.
The Vagabond A's will be the second team.
Always on the road.
That's right.
162 road games. All right, let's jump to the NL East. Chiz, start us off.
Yeah, NL East. So this is a tough one because I feel like Philly, has been really good for a long time, and they still have a great team. You still got Schwarber there. You still got Bryce Harper there. I think this could be a Philly year, but I think it'd kind of be at the end of their run, and I'm going to go ahead and call it prematurely and say that the Mets actually sneak up and take it from them this year. I actually think Soto's going to have a huge year. I like him having a really strong year. I love the fact that Bo Bichette's there now. I actually like Luis Robert in center field there. Kind of a reclamation project from the White Sox where he had a couple
all the
years
talent in the world,
really showed, and then just fell off a cliff. And so I think he could have a really good year. And I mean, they've got Kodai Senga as their fifth starter.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of really good pitching too. So, although I think it will be a close race, and I think this division could go to a lot of ways between a lot of teams,
too.
I'm going to go with the Mets and the Phillies coming in as a close second.
I like
How
it.
about you, Prue?
I also like the Mets to win this division. I agree. I think they've kind of been snake bit. I think their lineup is better than what they've actually produced the last couple of years. So if things go a little more normal for them, I think they got a good shot at putting out some serious offense this year. Philly, I feel like might be on the downhill run here. Kind of like landing the plane on fumes.
Yep.
You can see the writing's kind of on the wall for Bryce Harper. He's getting maybe a couple more years that he can play effectively, but he's on the tail end of his career, I believe. Schwarber, kind of the same thing. I think they still have a solid team. They still have a chance of winning, and I've got them, as my alternate for winning the division. But I think it's the Mets' year.
So how about you, Dex? Are we going for a sweep?
No, this time we're not. So Philly, their window was last year. I think it slammed shut when they couldn't get through. And that's kind of what we talked about the preview last year. I thought this team was built to win a championship. And it was. And they didn't get there. They're not better being a year older. This is a fact. I don't know if they'll stay away from the injury bug. I mean, the pitchers. I mean, that was a terrible year for Aaron Nola. The worst in his career. An over 6 ERA that even our Royals 5-stars laughed at. And it's just one of those like, woof.
That was crazy.
I mean, I don't think he's going to be that bad again. Don't get me wrong. But Wheeler is not going to be the same. Painter is their rookie that they've been wanting to call up for 4 years now. And he's finally going to be in the rotation. But he's been getting hammered. Like, his stuff just doesn't move like it used to. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm not going Philly. Let's just do that. So I'm going with the Braves, my Renaissance team. So Atlanta.
We're back in the 1990s.
It is, but here's my caveat with an asterisk. They need to survive long enough to get Spencer Strider, Schwellen back, and Waldrop back. If they get their top 3 starters back, we'll be all right. But here's who's holding down the fort is Chris Sale. So Cy Young perennial favorite, Chris Sale. And they're not bad. So they got Lopez, Grant Holmes, Elder kind of rounding out. But when you bring these other guys back, as long as they're still on where you want to be, Ronald Acuna is at the top of the lineup, a 40-70 guy just 2 years ago, 40-70. Drake Baldwin was, if not rookie of the year, he was second last year. Matt Olson, Austin Riley, Ozzie Albies, that top 5 can hammer the ball and score a ton of runs and play great defense. So I like the Braves to bounce back after a horribly disappointing year last year. And then my runner-up in this division is still not Philly. Again, I think that window's going to slam shut, and they might get 3rd. They might get 4th. I think the Marlins might beat them too. But anyway, I got the Mets as the second team in this division. And for all the reasons you guys listed, I think Soto is a great chance to win MVP this year. I think their starting rotation's deep. We saw Nolan McLean in the World Baseball Classic. There's a reason Team USA put him in the championship game because Terry Scuba wouldn't pitch, but also because he's pretty good. So that's kind of how we got there. So the Mets is going to have a good lineup. Luis Robert can have a great year. I think he could have a 30-30 resurgence because, man, if he doesn't do it now, just time if he cannot stay healthy enough and if he can't find the magic there, I don't know where you're going to find it. Now, the thing is with them, Francisco Lindor is going to be out for the first few weeks. Hamate bone, and so losing that hurts. But
I didn't even know what a hamate bone was until this year, and I feel like a hamate bone has been the most common injury in baseball all of a sudden.
Just keep getting smoked in the hand. They just
need to wear those padded gloves. Or
it
UCL.
is.
Yeah, but at least this one you come back fairly quick. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you're not out till July.
Yeah,
that's right. I don't know if
it's only a few weeks, so it won't be that impactful.
Exactly. But I think the addition of Bo Bichette, too, is huge. So it'll minimize the loss of Lindor by having Bo Bichette over there. So anyway, that's where I got there. Let's go to the NL Central. Pruitt, start us off.
Wow, I think we're all over the place on this one.
Division.
Well, look
this
at
has
it.
been
when
Yeah.
you
This
sift
has
through
been
the
a
garbage, what do
perennial.
you find?
Yeah, kind of. This has been like the Brewers' division to lose for the last several years.
Yeah.
The Cubs did have a pretty good team last year, and I think Chicago gets back on top this year. Their lineup is too good. Their pitching staff is super solid. Um, their outfield was one of the best, if not the best, in the league last year.
It was the best.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. They lost Tucker, and then they also have an injury to Suzuki
Yeah.
and left. PCA
Yeah.
is still a stud.
They just signed him to a huge deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey.
So Chaos is going to roam out there in center field again, and he's becoming an all-star name as one of the best baseball players.
As long as he's playing against right-hander pitchers.
Yeah. It's
Gotta
what
learn how
it
to hit
is.
lefties a little better, but he's a terror on the base pass. He plays awesome
Is.
center field.
And when your nickname's Chaos, you're doing something right.
So anyway, I like Chicago to go back as the division winners in the Central, and Milwaukee would be my backup pick. Just by default, I don't think anybody else is capable of winning that division personally. But
Yeah. Well,
how about you, Chiz?
I have a difference of opinion, Prue. Maybe it's
Okay.
because I spent 3 years there and I ate too much Skyline chili. But there's this rumbling in my tummy that feels like something special is brewing
Still,
in Cincinnati from that Skyline chili. It may be the Skyline chili, but I think it's because they're put together a pretty good little team over there in Cincinnati. And I think the Reds, for the first time in ages, are going to win the Central. I really like what they've put together from a pitching standpoint. I know Hunter Green's out, and that's a big blow for them. But I really like Andrew Abbott a lot. I think he's going to have a big year there. I think Ellie De La Cruz is going to have a career year. The guy has immense talent, and he's one of the few guys in baseball that, like, when he's up, I'm watching. Something amazing can happen. He kills the ball.
such an athlete. Yeah, I mean, just incredibly gifted athlete.
Fun to watch across the board. So I think that's a very, as we discussed, wide open division. And as a result, I think we're going to have something special happen, and it's not going to be the Cardinals. That's the only thing I can say is I think we're all in agreement. Unfortunately, the Cardinals are a really bad baseball team. Sorry, St. Louis fans. I know you're out there listening to us, but we don't think they're going to be great. I do think Cincinnati will be good. I actually have the Cubs, to your point, Prue, as the runner-up. I think if Cincinnati doesn't pull off the magic, the Cubs do, and for all the reasons you said. They're a very solid team. I think Milwaukee is probably looking at third. They're not, to your point, they've had the division to lose forever. They just can't break through. And so it's like, cycles happen. And at the end of the day, I think it might be time for the cycle to be over for Milwaukee.
Similar to Dex's point on Philadelphia being a year older, I feel like Milwaukee's just a year older.
Right.
Not a whole lot of movement or like strong additions that are going to put them over the top this year.
No, that's exactly right. And I do have a soft spot for the Brew Crew. This whole division is one of those that generally is like hasn't had like dominant runs for a long time, but I think it's going to be super interesting this year. Now, Dex has a really interesting pick for us. Matter of fact, he's got a team that none of us have even mentioned yet as someone that he sees winning the division. So, Dex, who do you have?
Well, this one's obvious if you know what you're talking about. I'm taking a fun one. I'm taking a fun one here. The Pittsburgh Pirates are coming back. They're coming back. They're going to ride the coattails of their young pitching staff who hopefully get some people in and do well. Paul Skeens. It starts and ends right there, right? And Paul Skeens should be able to win.
Is he going to pitch every game?
He's going to win his 20 games. So there's 20. Mitch Keller's not that bad. Bubba Chandler is going to be pretty good. Braxton Ashcraft, if you haven't heard this guy's name, look him up. He's got filthy, nasty, disgusting stuff. And then here's the main reason. Number 1 overall prospect, Connor Griffin. He should have been on the opening day roster. They kind of screwed him. So he's going down to AAA.
Time issue?
Yeah, it's just because he didn't sign a deal. And because he didn't sign the deal, I don't know if that's the reason. All I know is that he was going to make it as a 19-year-old. It's going to be the first time in a long time. So I think Juan Soto, that they've had a 19-year-old make an opening day roster. He's good enough to be there. Instead, Nick Gonzalez is going to be starting on the opening day roster.
Of course.
But let's say 2 weeks from now, when Connor Griffin's back up, your lineup, they added some key parts. So Marcell Ozuna is a legitimate Major League Baseball player. That is now their cleanup hitter. Last year, we didn't even recognize who was hitting cleanup for them. Ryan Hearn, so of old former Royals guy who then went to Baltimore, and then had a resurgence there.
Renaissance there.
Yeah, so he's pretty decent. If he's truly fixed himself, that helps. Brandon Lowe, so the guy you might remember being a 2020 guy or 30-30 guy for Tampa a few years back, he's now there. So they've added 3 legitimate bats to go with O'Neal Cruz, again, soon to be Connor Griffin. And then the guy we talked about last year in the Pittsburgh preview, Spencer Horwitz, he came over from Toronto last year and had a wrist injury. So he kind of just sucked last year. It's kind of a wasted year, but he's healthy and hitting well this spring. So the Pittsburgh lineup is actually pretty good. And that was the problem last year is he couldn't score any runs. So Pittsburgh, if they actually score runs, the pitching staff can win the games. So that's why. The
other thing that, is nice about them and what I could see driving them is, you got Bonds, Bonilla, Van Slyke, Pena behind the plate.
They got Joey Park
I'm thinking
behind
about
the
the
plate.
last time Pittsburgh was actually relevant and actually had a chance to win anything.
Do they still have Bob Walk in their rotation?
So Bob Walk, God, that was a great one. So they should, and if they don't, they should get old school Kent Tekulve back there. I think he was with both Philly and the Pirates back in the day. But Pittsburgh, again, going to be sneaky. Now, do I really think they can win it? I could just say the Cubs too. I think the Cubs will be really good. I want to have a fun one. My fun one is Pittsburgh.
I like it. It's a little fun. I like it.
And I think that Cincinnati losing Hunter Green is going to cost them. The Cardinals, I don't know the last time they've been in a rebuild because holy crap, they suck. When you look at that lineup,
last year.
Don't you have to start building to be in a rebuild?
Yeah. Well, last year they couldn't get rid of all the guys they wanted to, right? So they were trying to trade them all and couldn't trade any of them. Well, they're finally all gone. So Helsley's gone, Arenado's gone. They got rid of Brendan Donovan, who many people in St. Louis area did not want to get rid of. Like, not that one. We like Brendan Donovan.
He's the one to build around.
Exactly.
Yes.
But with that, they got some extra picks. So they do have some talent coming. But they really, really, the Cardinals, Jordan Walker was a flop. Bad. Nolan Gorman has been a flop. So they've just got flopperooskies everywhere. But here's the only fun thing. So turn on a Cardinals game to watch J.J. Weatherholt. So it's a rookie who made the opening day roster. He's a hitter. This dude can flat out hit. He's got a chance to compete for a batting title rookie year. I mean, he's one of those guys like Jacob Wilson last year. So he's got a hit tool that's off the chart. So that's the only fun thing Cardinals fans have to look forward to this year. But
enjoy Busch Stadium and the beer.
Correct. So that's what we got. So that's my Pittsburgh take. So take it or leave it.
Is there any reason to talk about the NL West?
It's so disgusting to see.
So other than the Dodgers, we don't need to talk about the Dodgers. So they went and signed.
Dodgers are going to win. Who's the fun
Dodgers
pick?
are going to beat everybody by 1 million, and they're going to win 130 games. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. That was fun. Good job, NL West. So I'll start with this one just because I think this team will be fun to watch. I wanted the D-backs, but having Corbin Carroll be out for the first chunk of games, it's hard
That hurts.
God, man, you don't want to lose in April. It's hard to catch up the rest of the season. So I like them, but I'm going to go with San Francisco Giants. So the San Francisco Giants, I think, can compete. They added 3-time batting champ Luis Ariz, and he is going to be playing second base for him. So he's going back to his.
Why does nobody want Luis Ariz? I love this guy. He's like the modern day Tony Gwynn. He just hits.
He doesn't hit home runs.
But here's the thing: you say no one wants him, but everybody wants him. That's why they keep trading for him. Like, I want a batting champ that plays decent defense and is good in the clubhouse. Yeah. So it's one of those things. I think they just he's light hitting. I mean, he's not going to knock in 30 home runs and 90 RBIs. That's what everybody wants. but he's on
Yep.
base all the time. He makes contact. He
Yeah.
never strikes out. He's like classic rock Tony Gwynn.
Yeah.
But I think Willie Adames, Chapman, Devers, Ramos, that is a good lineup. Harrison Bader, they just added. So that's a nice piece for defense and for, again, giving you a professional at bat in your lineup. And then you look at the starting rotation, Logan Webb, Robbie Ray, Tyler Mahle. That's a nice starting rotation. I always like it when you do three guys, like, those are all pretty good. And so I like San Francisco to compete for the second spot in that division, kind of tangling around with the San Diegos and the Diamondbacks, but it's going to be playing for second in that division. How about you? What do you got for this one?
So what do you think, Prue, from a second place team? I know we're playing for second here in the West, unfortunately, since someone spent $5 billion on their roster.
Yeah, it's hard to compete with that. I do think that San Diego can compete. I like them as a potential near second place. I like their lineup. Jackson Merrill is an interesting young player. There's in center field for them. They've got the veterans, Machado, and I guess Tatis. You could probably call a veteran at this point.
Yep,
he's been around a while. I really like Nick Castellanos that's come over from Detroit.
Totally.
He's a better hitter than I think people give him credit for. He was a royal killer last year.
Totally.
And I like their projected number 9 hitter is Mr. Freddie Fermin, who
I like Freddie Fermin, man.
We know and love from our from his affiliation with the Royals the last few years. Love that guy. I'm glad he's getting a chance to start for a team because he's a great catcher, great defensive catcher, and he's got a bat too. So
excellent.
I really like the Padres as a potential second place finisher.
I'm with you. Excellent. He's an excellent pitch framer. I think Fermin is super underrated, and he gives you. Dude doesn't give in on any at bats. A lot of times in an MLB team, the catcher is seen as an auto out, and so they don't really demand much of him. He does not see himself that way. He's not going to hit 30 home runs, but he is going to hit for a much better average than most catchers, and he's great defensively. So I love him. I think he's underrated. I think that the Padres are a little bit underrated. Are they as good as the Dodgers? Pretty hard to do unless you have oil chic money. But I do think that they do have a bunch of guys that are going to put together a tough lineup to go through. I'm most worried by the pitching just because there's some injuries. Joe Musgrove is hurting at the beginning, like Michael King. Nick Pivetta is decent. They don't have a great starting rotation, but they don't have like a massive hole. When German Marquez is your last guy coming out of the five slot, that's not a horrible guy to have coming out there. So,
Walker Buehler's an ex-Dodger, and he hasn't pitched great the last few years, but when he first came up, he was like
lights out.
Clayton Kershaw Jr.
He was their opening day starter.
And you got Mason Miller. I mean,
they get to the ninth, it's over.
This is a good team. They're just playing in a bad division, so it's not a lot of fun for them.
I mean, maybe their best shot is to win a wild card spot.
Yeah,
right, and go, and we'll see what happens. I mean, Yamamoto can't pitch every game, can he?
I could see the wild card coming from this division for sure. Either Dex's Giants or the Padres. I could see being a wild card coming out of this division because you're probably not going to get it coming out of the Central. Yep. Could get one out of the East, but I think the West is a good bet for that.
For sure. All right, so we got everybody covered in this division?
We do.
So let's go to our individual awards to wrap this episode up.
Let's hit them before we lose all power.
Let's go. All right.
Lightning round.
Lightning round.
MVP, American League, Chisholm, go. And we can't do Judge, so Chisholm, go.
No Judge. I'm going Julio Rodriguez has his best season ever in leading the Mariners to the World Series. Julio Rodriguez, AL MVP. Prue.
Bobby Witt Jr. No surprise. Finally gets it. Well deserved. Another solid year from our loved Royals shortstop.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going Bobby
Next.
Witt Jr. as well, who's going to win the batting title this year, as he's already led the major leagues in hits the last 2 years. I think he
Incredible.
finally puts that to a batting title, and he's going to lead the Royals to the division championship. So that's going to be
Love
what
it.
we got for the AL MVP. NL MVP. Pruitt, back to you.
NL MVP. I really like Juan Soto. I think Chisholm made the point earlier. Mets have a kind of resurgent year. I think Soto's a big reason why. I think he leads that team to the top of the NL East, and I think he earns NL MVP honors.
There we go, Chisholm.
Hey, I told you about my Cincinnati story. Again, it may be the Skyline Chili, maybe the Grater's ice cream. I'm not sure, but that feeling's in my stomach. It's going to be special. Ellie De La Cruz, he's incredible talent, and he puts it all together this year. He's consistent. He lives up to all the incredible potential that he has, and he earns the NL MVP while leading the Reds to the division title. Ellie De La Cruz. Dex.
I like it. So that was who I had it between because, again, we're doing no Ohtani in this one. So
Yep.
I've got Juan Soto because he learned how to run bases last year. So I think he could, honestly, God, go 40-40 for the Mets. And I think with the pieces that they added, that Mets team with adding Bo Bichette and adding Luis Robert Jr., he's going to have more people to knock in and be knocked in, frankly. So I think Juan Soto wins it. But I think runner-up is Ellie De La Cruz for all the reasons you mentioned. He was hurt last year, played through injuries last year. But this dude is electric. So I would not be surprised whatsoever if he has the year that we think he could have with 40-40, as again, as a switch-hitting shortstop for the Cincinnati Reds. All right, let's go Cy Young in the NL, and we'll flip it back to you, Chisholm.
Well, I think this year, this is a super surprise for you. He's not on your list. He's going to be hard to find from an odds standpoint. But because I'm picking the Reds in the Renaissance year, I'm going with Andrew Abbott. Because Hunter Green's out, Andrew Abbott's going to have to step up, and he's going to keep stepping up the rest of the year, and he's going to earn an NL Cy Young for the Reds. I don't know the last time that happened. Cincinnati Reds having a Cy Young. Anyone?
Luis Castillo? Did he win one with them?
Maybe. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
But I'm going to go.
I bet it was Cueto. Did Johnny Cueto win one with them?
I bet it was Cueto. I bet Cueto got it. I bet that's right. But yeah, Andrew Abbott. I think he's got young talent, got a lot of ability. I think he wins a Cy Young. Dex, what do you think on NL Cy Young?
I'm going Yamamoto. He has looked dominant. He's been so good for the Dodgers, and I don't see anything stopping him now. He just is ridiculous. So I think he's going to be the head of the serpent for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and he's going to win a lot of games just because, but he's also super good, and he won't even need that many runs when he pitches. He's just exceptional. So Yamamoto, NL Cy Young. Pruitt.
I'm going to go over to San Francisco. I really like Logan Webb. He represented Team USA, obviously, as their first starter alongside Paul Skeens and Tariq Skubal. Logan Webb has been super durable the last several years, so I think he has a full season, which is the number one qualifier for winning a Cy Young is like contributing for the whole season. So I think he's got a great shot at it. He's got good stuff and playing for a team that Dex likes as you know, pretty competitive in the NL West.
For sure.
Yeah, agree. And we weren't allowed to pick Skeens in that one, so that is the hook for there. So now we'll go to the AL Cy Young. And Pruitt, let's continue. What do you think from an AL Cy Young standpoint? Who's got the best shot this year?
So I really like Logan Gilbert from Seattle. He's got incredible stuff. That is a great staff, pitching staff. Those top three starters, like we mentioned earlier.
He's got a lot of chances for wins, right? With that batting lineup.
Yeah, with their lineup in place, and then the team does not have to rely on only him to win games. They've got three solid starters, I think he'll go out and be feel a little less pressured to, throw perfect games every time. He'll have run support and that kind of thing. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he ends up winning 18 to 20 games this year.
I agree. I think he's a solid solid pick. We weren't allowed to pick Scooble in this category either. So that side note, Logan Gilbert Pruitt picks. I am going to go. I mentioned I thought the Red Sox were going to be really good this year, and I think that's because of Garrett Crochet. I think he's a guy that I really hate facing. When the Royals face him, I'm like, bleh, this is going to be a sucky offensive day because he's just so talented. He battles every at-bat. I think he's going to have a lot of good run support as well. I think that team's going to be good. And I think they've done a really good job. Like you said, same way with Logan Gilbert. You know, he doesn't have to win because I think they got a good staff behind him. So you don't have the pressure of like, I got to win every start.
Right.
And so I think he's going to pitch a lot more free and easy, and that's going to translate really well for him. So I really like Garrett Crochet. And Dexter has a combination of what we both said. So he likes Logan Gilbert to win as well, and he had his runner-up as Garrett Crochet. So we're all kind of the same mind. When you get Tariq Skubal out of the equation, there's three really interesting guys there. And I would like to point out that none of us went with the homer pick of Cole Reagans. In this instance.
I did briefly consider that.
Me too.
I don't like his injury history. To my earlier point, I think a pitcher has to perform all year to be considered for that award. You can't put up the numbers if you're only pitching 15 starts or something like that. So
ability is availability, right?
Yeah.
And that's I in the same way. I would like to pick Reagans, and he's got the K ratio to definitely be considered, but I'm just worried he's going to have one of those stints for a month where he's like, I need to shut it down.
Yeah, for 6 or 8 weeks. And
and it's like that just kills your ability to win those awards.
I do have one other outside pick I'll throw out there. My maybe third runner or second runner up, Dylan Cease. I really like him. I think he's another guy. He's been around for a few years now, and he always seems to be, pretty solid. If he manages to put a year together, a career year for him, I think he could be capable of taking that award.
He does a good job of ceasing the opposing bats.
He does.
Ceasefires, if you will.
So Dex, we covered your pick in the AL Cy Young. So now we're going to go on to the AL Rookie of the Year. Dex, who do you have and pick for the Rookie of the Year?
So this one's going to be an exciting player to watch as well. Even if you're not a Detroit Tigers fan, you're going to love Kevin McGonigal. So one of the top prospects in baseball is starting opening day, 21-year-old for the Tigers. Over the last couple years in the minors, he has hit 308, 25 homers, 40 steals, 919 OPS. He was last year's Arizona Fall League MVP. He is a stud, and he also plays incredible shortstop. Defense up top, and he's a 70 hit tool. So this guy is going to be hard to beat. My honorable mention, who's going to help the Royals win the pennant this year, is Carter Jensen. So he's going to be the heir apparent to Salvi. He's going to be playing some DH and some catcher. Carter Jensen is the real deal. He hits a ton. I think that's going to be the runner-up this year too. So two exciting young players to watch in this year's AL. Over to you.
Yeah, so actually, Carter Jensen is who I picked as my Rookie of the Year. My only concern about him is, will he get enough action?
Playing time.
I think he will, because I think we're going to see a lot less of Salvi catching this year and a lot more of him DHing and playing first base here and there. So I do think we're going to see a lot of Carter Jensen.
Yep.
And if Carter Jensen does anything like he did at the end of last year, where he hit 300 for that final stretch of games when he was up for 20 some odd games, and what he's done in Arizona this year, I'm really excited about what he has to offer. So I've got him as AL Rookie of the Year, even though he's got some long odds. Pruitt, who do you like?
Yeah, I actually like both of those guys a lot. McGonigal, just because of his youth, is super exciting. That can backfire. I think we saw a little bit of that with Jack Caglione last year.
Yeah,
for the Royals, he goes and tears it up at AAA, and then maybe is a little bit overwhelmed when he gets to the majors. So if McGonigal can avoid that, I think he's got all the right tools to take that award.
Absolutely.
Sure. All right, NL Rookie of the Year, Chisholm, go.
Final category here, NL Rookie of the Year. Got a little soft spot for him because the man stepped up in the World Baseball Classic. We're gonna go with Nolan McLean. The young guy went up against all the high pressure situation, the tough bats in the World Baseball Classic, and he did a really good job. And I think that kind of like prep heading into a major league season is pretty great for a rookie. Like, not a lot of rookies are going to have been able to go through that scenario
and pitch a championship game.
Yeah, he's already got some great experience. A major league start's not going to seem like that big of a deal to him now. So I don't think he's going to have some of those jitters that you have in a typical first few weeks of starts. So, and he's obviously a great talent. So I love Nolan McLean to win NL Rookie of the Year. Prue, what do you think?
I really like. I don't want to steal your thunder, Dex. So I'll let you talk about your guy.
Pick the same guy. All right, Dex.
I really like some Binge from the Mets. He is going to step in opening day. He's their number 2 prospect, I believe.
Behind McLean.
Mike Tauchman has a knee injury.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And so he's going to get the opening day start for the Mets. He's going to be stepping into an incredible lineup, like we talked about earlier. And I think he could step into a situation where he's surrounded by a bunch of veteran players that bring him up quickly. He's, I think, the number 5 overall prospect, if I remember correctly. So he's got tons of talent, and he's getting a shot, which is a key thing for Rookie of the Year, is just having opportunities, I think. So
absolutely,
he's an outside maybe front runner.
Yeah, I like it.
Rookie of the Year.
He's going to have a lot of protection in that lineup. So that's a good spot to be. So Dex, who do you like for Rookie of the Year in the NL?
So the one bright spot for the St. Louis Cardinals this year will be J.J. Weatherholt winning the Rookie of the Year. And frankly, he's going to be the only bat in that lineup probably. So it'll be a fun thing to watch. He's their top prospect. He was a first-round pick 2 seasons ago. He is really good. He can hit. So it's a kind of off the marker. He's the guy that's going to be ahead, and I'll talk about who a lot of people think is going to win is Pittsburgh's Connor Griffin, the overall top prospect in baseball, who, again, should have made the starting opening day roster, was good enough and was hitting well enough, but they're putting some scab up there instead. But Connor Griffin's going to be really good, but J.J. Weatherholt, St. Louis Cardinals, Rookie of the Year, baby. Let's do it. So that's going to wrap up all of our folks. I'm sure you covered everything else as well, so I think we're probably pretty good. Let's wrap up this technical difficulty episode and this technical difficult tournament, NCAA tournament, and hopefully the MLB season goes off without a hitch. But thank you all out there, Shrewdness, for listening and staying with us through this. And we're looking forward to a great season, and we're also looking forward to a great finish of this NCAA tournament. Hope you get to circle more of your teams going to the Final Four this weekend. Enjoy opening day baseball. It's one of the best days ever.
That's right.
Until next week, stay shrewd.
Stay shrewd.
Stay shrewd, everybody.